Welcome to the Moon Magic Tarot channel. Thank you, Super Souls, for joining me. So today's reading is asking a very important question. Can I trust this person? Now, this is a question I think that will come up numerous times throughout our lives and in different situations. So we're going to draw 3 cards to help to guide you into those readings. We have definitely the card for reading 1 already, and reading 2 actually, and in fact reading 3, showing through really quickly. I'm going to draw a rune and a charm as well, and that is really just to help to guide you in. I'm going to turn these over in a second. If you think about your situation as well, whatever that situation you're in, can I trust this person? Focus on that individual and the circumstances around them. And then, of course, we will see what the readings are showing and what your spirit team wish you to know. So reading 1, living light energy, see the beauty in life. Reading 2, emotional challenges, resolve the issue. Now remember, of course, we are going to be drawing additional cards. Oh wow, eternal union, new love is forming. Now we're going to be drawing lots of additional cards, potentially more runes as well. These cards are just to guide you in. Let's draw a rune for each one. The first rune is the rune of harvest for reading 1. The second is the rune of flow. I'm going to place that there, actually. I think that feels right. And then we have the rune of wholeness. Oh wow, that's a very beautiful rune to have next to eternal union is forming, new love. Okay, well, let's now draw a charm for each. Okay, so we have a leaf for reading number 1. Okay, it's very interesting actually, energy. Look at this. We have a leaf, we have a tree of life here in this picture. A beautiful tree emerging. We have a leaf and we have the rune of harvest. So this is really interesting. So can I trust this person? It's going to be really interesting to see how the cards and the runes pan out. But that's the guidance to draw you in and align with your intuition for reading 1. Reading 2, emotional challenges, the rune of flow and resolve the issue. This is really beautiful. You actually have an angel wing with a rose. Okay, actually that's how I'm going to sit those. And lastly, we have the card of eternal love, the rune of wholeness. Okay, and we have like a little person here. Okay, so that's quite curious. I'm wondering if there are children involved in some way, or an inner child is being activated. Well, we shall see what we are shown in the readings. So Super Souls, if you're not quite sure which one of these is speaking to you, just press the pause button. I will put the timestamps in the information box below and in the comments for phone users. And if you find yourself drawn to more than one, go with both, because sometimes we can view a situation or a person from more than one different angle in order to really get the bigger picture and pick up the messages that your spirit team are bringing through for you. So tons and tons of love, Super Souls, and I will see you in a moment in the readings. Welcome, reading 1. You have been drawn to the card of living light energy, see the beauty in life, it's beautiful leaf, and the rune of harvest. So we're going to use the Light Seers Tarot first of all, just see what we are shown. All 3. Okay, let's turn these over first of all. So, living light energy, see the beauty in life. Can I trust this person? So holding that person, your situation in mind. Ooh, you are really debating this, aren't you? I think you've had quite mixed experiences of this person. It's almost like, they're not congruent. You start to move forwards and then something happens and it's like you're basically, you're getting mixed messages from this person, and it is really weighing, gosh, reading number one, it's weighing heavy on your mind. What it's also doing, interestingly enough, Three of Swords, it's sort of tapping into some old wounds. Now, it may be that this person is just a little bit undecided. I think they're not absolutely sure. Maybe they're having a wobble. But one way or the other, it's causing you, I want to say it's causing you grief, reading number one. This person is weighing heavy on your mind, and it is tapping into something. I think it's kind of also pressing a few buttons. That's what I'm really kind of seeing here. So we have the Knight of Cups. Oh, this is really nice. Six of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, and the Nine of Cups. Okay, so I'm seeing a happy outcome here. Okay, we will draw more cards. I'm going to ask, but primarily this is sort of saying, can I trust this person? Do you know, I really want to say, I think there's a relationship here going on between your energy and this other person's energy. It's almost like, because buttons, it's like, I suspect buttons are being pressed on both sides, interestingly enough. And you know, you get this sort of reaction between two people. Sometimes one person feels something or reacts in a certain way, and then the other person reacts in that way. Can you trust this person? I actually think I think this is a connection that could thrive. Whatever aspect of your world this is, reading number one, I do think it's a connection that could thrive. But there's kind of a bit of a toing and froing between you both. I always think it's really interesting. If you look at the Rune of Harvest, it's actually, for those of you that know your runes, this shape is the Rune of Openings, but it's like two openings. It's kind of, they're like mirrors, going in opposite directions. Now, the Rune of Harvest is a fruit-bearing rune. It's a rune of promise. So it's a rune of promise, but it often says something is going to take a while to build. It's going to take maybe a year. If you think about the way that, you know, a farmer is going to reach a point of harvest, he has to sow this, he has to till the soil, sow the seeds, he has to nurture and look after it. It's a gardener with a garden, you know, and eventually the harvest is brought in. So I feel there is a lot of potential here. I do think this person is fundamentally trustworthy. I think that they have anxiety and feelings of concern about you, just as I think you have anxiety and concern about them. It's like, I feel like maybe for some of you there's like a testing of the waters, or buttons are being pressed and there's a bit of reactivity going on between you. And really the key to this, I do think it's really interesting, I do think that ultimately they are keen to see something progress. Okay, you know, the Knight of Cups can be a bit of a, you know, all roses and romance but no substance, but I just think with the Nine of Cups here, you know, and the Six of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles, I actually do think this person has genuine intent. Okay, I think they have genuine, whatever your circumstances, they do have genuine intent. I don't think that they are bluffing. However, I do think there is this sort of, almost like a bit of a karmic mirror going on. I think you spark off each other, but you also can plug into each other's insecurities as well. So there's a definite, you know, something here that needs to get sorted out here. But the Six of Pentacles, you know, I feel there's an investment. This reading is suggesting that it's worth making an investment. It's worth getting over those fears. But I also feel, you know, reading number one, when you, If you are with somebody and your insecurities, for whatever reason, and their insecurities indeed are uprooted, you know, because I'm seeing this toing and froing, 7 of Cups, snakes and ladders. It's like decisions. It's almost like you edge forwards and then one or other of you backs away. And I think sometimes, interestingly enough, I think sometimes you are receiving mixed messages. But you know, reading number 1, I think maybe you might be giving off mixed messages too, quite inadvertently. I don't think this is happening necessarily in a conscious way, but I think both of you are a little bit anxious and worried around each other. I do think the intent of this person is genuine, and this reading is suggesting that if you're prepared to invest in this, you know, actually the doorway can open and we're going to see real commitment and celebration in whatever, you know, this is about. So we're going to see results. But I also think there's a journey within here that needs to be done. Understanding what it is that you're looking into, what is it that you, what are the buttons that are being pressed. Now, I think what I'm going to do, reading number 1, is I'm going to draw some more cards, and I think I'm going to draw some cards actually for both of you, because we have this Rune of Harvest, this sort of mirror going on here of openings. Now, when the Rune of Openings is in a reverse position, it tends to mean that we're really a bit foggy and we're not clear about where we're going. When the Rune of Openings is upright and pointing in the right direction, it means renewed clarity, out of darkness into light. We know the direction we want to go in. We're ready to commit. Living light energy, see the beauty in life. This is kind of asking, I think, to, you know, shift away from a negative perspective and look for the good. Because I feel there is this sparking off where one of you is seeing things negatively, that sparks negativity in the other one, and we get this sort of edging forwards and then this running away, this sort of toing and froing going on. But I am seeing somebody with good intent and with the right level of investment, of seeing results here. So let's draw some cards here for both of you. I'm going to draw from the Enchanted Map Oracle cards. Let's draw one for each of you. So we're asking, well, there's the first one for this person, and now we're going to ask for the person who's watching this reading. That's the one. Okay. So this person has protecting treasure, and this is slow and steady. Okay, this is actually very delightful, really. Okay, now this person is quite defensive, okay? And I think that's why maybe that's partly what's sparking the insecurities. Okay, they're a little bit defensive. They've started to get anxious. They've started to get defensive. They've probably historically had to defend themselves. You know, that's what they learned. They've learned to defend themselves. They learned that it was, you know, maybe they didn't grow up in an environment where it was kind of okay to make a mistake. Or maybe something happened in their life where, you know, and again, maybe it's something that's quite deep. I'm sort of seeing something quite deep here. Maybe where something went wrong and it's almost like some part of them felt like, you know, they were to blame, but there's something defensive around this person. Okay, but I think they are a treasure, actually. I do think that they are genuinely, their intent is good. It's just that they have not really learned that it's safe for them to come out into the open and admit to mistakes, or to be able to take full ownership of their feelings. Now, we can't make this happen in somebody. None of us can force somebody else to grow. All that we can ever do is provide the right kind of conditions to allow something to grow. We have the Rune of Harvest, of course, again. And I think this is interesting because the Rune of Harvest does speak of a period of a year. Slow and steady. Take it slow and steady. Your card is slow and steady. Take it one step at a time. Don't try to rush it. Don't try to force it. Don't try to You know, I think this person will find their way with you if you wish to invest. I mean, we need to see what kind of, if there's any indication from your spirit guides around this person for you. But I do think they are fundamentally trustworthy. That's the answer to our primary question. But they are defensive. And the key here, because there's some healing to be done for you as well. This is not just, there is a real kind of mirroring of something going on here between you. So I'm going to draw some cards now from a different tarot pack, and let's just see where we, okay, Three of Trees, dedication. Oh, this is lovely. The Wheel, breakthrough, and Seven of Stars, faith. Oh, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Three of Trees, the Wheel, breakthrough. I'm trying to work out where best to place the cards, but you know, so we know this person is defensive. Let's just sit this here. Three of Trees, the Wheel, Seven of Stars. This is lovely. Reading number one. Actually, this person's genuinely dedicated to you. What they're needing to do is to find the safety, to feel that they can begin to almost like reveal themselves without fear of something going wrong. So slow and steady. Let's ask for some cards about you. What are these buttons that need healer? Oh, this is a lovely card. The Lovers. It's interesting, when we had the Nine of Cups especially show up, and the Knight of Cups, visionary. Oh, wow. Okay, this is exciting. Reading number one, when the Nine of Cups and the Knight of Cups showed up, I kind of thought, gosh, for some of you, I actually think this is a relationship, a love relationship, an intimate relationship. For others, your situation may be different because it's a general reading, it's a generic reading, but nevertheless, I think this person is trustworthy, genuinely. I think their intent is good. What do we have here? Knight of Cups changes to the King of Cups, your cards, the Lovers, Queen of Angels, visionary. Again, this is really, really interesting reading number one, because what this is actually pointing out here, just take it slowly. I feel like you're needing to rebuild trust. You know, Three of Swords is like the healing of a broken heart. For me, I've always see that card saying, look, you know, you've been hurt before. You know, it's interesting. It may be that both of you are defensive, actually, but in quite different, it's like you're in different ways, and yet there is some kind of mirror. Look, I think this person genuinely could bring healing into your world, could begin to heal some trust issues here. I do think there can be a coming together, but it needs to be slow and steady. I think it's really important that, because each time you edge forwards, you know, beautiful reading number one, when you edge forwards, if you've been hurt before, when you edge forwards, you're bound to have a wobble at each time you edge forwards. It's like you trust a little bit more and you have a wobble, and then you trust a little bit more. And this reading is really speaking about, you know, living light energy, see the beauty in life, holding that positivity rather than looking for the negative. Look for the positives and create that environment of encouragement and nurture. Queen of Angels, again, visionary. This is coming across with two messages. I think you are a bit of a visionary. I think you are someone who has vision. And what I would say is, you know, with regard to this person, I do think they're trustworthy. They're I think they're actually quite steady, but maybe you are, in terms of your kind of vision of life, your vision of life might be more expansive than theirs. Your experience of life might be more expansive than theirs. It doesn't mean that this is a negative connection, but it may be that you need to hold the higher vision and almost hold the higher vision whilst nurturing an environment of positivity where this person can begin to step up, because I think there's insecurities playing out on both sides here. Okay, just going to draw a little bit more, a few more tarot cards, just to sort of see how are your spirit team suggesting or giving you encouragement that this might work out. Three of Swords. Lovely. Balance can be refound. Isn't this interesting? You know, we have Three of Swords, Three of Swords. In this pack, I always see it as the healing of a broken heart. And I mean, look at this. It's the end of a conflict. A conflict comes to the end. Things are brought back into balance. Super nice. Super, super nice. So we have the Emperor. Lovely. Whatever discord, this is really interesting. When you do press each other's buttons a little bit, this is giving you a clue actually. Your spirit team is saying, look, I think this person comes back to you and says, look, I'm sorry. And when they do, I think a part of you says, how can I trust you? You know, and again, I think they're just defensive. Their intent is good. And so when they do come back, I think you're being asked to receive. Allow yourself to receive that. Yeah, look at this. We have the Eight of Swords. It's almost like you're not allowing yourself to move beyond the worry. I think you get tangled in the worry, tangled in your head, all of what I would call the what ifs. Yeah, you do. We have the Ten of Wands here. It's like it becomes a burden. You know, when we go over and over and over. So your spirit team, let's ask, what is reading number 1 offered to help overcome this sort of like habitual thinking pattern that stops you from receiving something? Because I think that it can get into a vicious cycle here. Gratitude. This is it. Living light energy, see the beauty in life, move into a space of gratitude. Thank the universe, not just for everything you have, but for the lessons and the growing that you can actually, with this person, do together, whatever your circumstances. That is the key here, to the healing and to the recovery. And again, look at this. We have the Seven of Discs. You know, for me, this is a choosing to invest. Choosing to invest and choosing to invest wisely. Also, this is really voicing something very clear for me. Look at these two separate trees with all of the coins. It's like, I want to say, disentangle yourselves. Recognize that you are both walking separate paths. It's like two ships sailing side by side. This is a relationship which can be very visionary. You're not entangled in one another. You can grow alongside one another. It's like two ships sailing side by side, supporting each other, but not steering one another's ships. You know, not trying to engage with one another's issues or insecurities, but it's like owning your own. And therefore the way, I think, becomes clear. I'm going to draw one more card for you. From the Angel Answers pack, reading number 1, and then I think I'm going to wrap up this reading. But is this person trustworthy? I would say absolutely. Their intentions are good. It's more a question of kind of how you manage to navigate this sort of like pressing of one another's buttons. What's this card? Meditation brings answers. So again, if you're having a wobble, just get still, center yourself in gratitude, and sort of there's a need to disentangle yourselves from one another so that you're dealing with your own stuff. You can support each other in that. You can be supportive of somebody else's journey, but you're not entangled in it. Reading number 1, if this has resonated with you, this is one of the more spontaneous readings that I do. I post every single Sunday. With weekly guidance from Spirit. I post a lunar update for the coming week as well, with telling you all about the kind of incoming energy from the moon for the week, so that you can kind of navigate life through that level of awareness. Super Souls, I post these timeless readings at the moment. I'm building a whole kind of library, a whole playlist of timeless readings where we can go and check in on and find a reading that will help us to find an answer or a solution, or help us to navigate a wobble at any different time. So there are lots and lots of readings that I'm adding to that. If you have any thoughts about questions that you would like me to put into a reading, if you put it in the comments, I can add it to my list. I'm working through that and doing those readings. And if this reading has resonated and you want to get a notification as soon as I post anything, if you subscribe and click the little bell as well, I think everything should come into your stream. You should get notified as soon as I post anything. And yeah, Super Souls, I also actually give away a free private reading every month and a pack of oracle cards. So if you'd like to be in my prize draw, that is a subscriber offer. There's a link in the information box along with the timestamps and all the other stuff, and that link will take you to my subscriber email list. And a colleague draws names out of the hat every month, and I announce the winners as well. Usually once a month I just tack on a little announcement on the end of the Sunday readings. So Super Souls, thank you so much for joining me. Tons and tons of love. Yes, I think this person is trustworthy, but there is this really interesting dynamic going on between you. But yeah, there is a lot of potential here. That is what your spirit team would like you to know. Tons and tons of love. Welcome, reading number 2. Thank you so much for joining me, and you have been drawn by the Rune of Flow, the card Emotional Challenges, which also says resolve the issue, and this beautiful wing with a rose, which for me does also suggest the potential for healing, divine guidance, and maybe reconciliation or resolution in some way. But it is interesting because both the card and the Rune of Flow do speak about emotions. The Rune of Flow is all about the way in which we feel our emotions and we navigate our emotions. Both the emotional challenges and the Rune of Flow are suggesting that whatever is going on around you, it will come to a resolution. It's going to be healed. It's going to be moved forwards. What is interesting, it does suggest that somebody in the situation that you're in, this is a reading asking, is this person trustworthy? Can I trust this person? And I think you have already encountered somebody who isn't trustworthy. That's coming through very strongly. This card is pointing out that somebody has already, I'm just going to say, behaved badly towards you, leaving a kind of an emotional scar or an emotional residue from something. And indeed, that situation may well still be going on. The Rune of Flow does suggest that it will move forwards. The card of Emotional Challenges suggests the same. The card of Emotional Challenges always kind of validates the fact that this is a passing situation. It's not permanent. It's going to move forwards. So I'm going to place the card here, and we are going to dive straight into some tarot cards and oracle cards and just see what we are shown. So reading number 2, can I trust this person? Whatever your situation, let's see what guidance we are shown. There's quite a lot of cards coming out for us already. Here's our first. Ace of Discs. Okay, so we're going to see here some kind of new beginning, some kind of resources coming in to support you in your situation, some kind of a shift. And yes, look at this, we have the 8 of Cups. So this is the leaving of something behind. Resources are coming to you. This could be renewed energy, it could be the support of someone, it could even be financial resources, but something is going to come through to you that will allow you to move on, to leave something behind, to set sail for new horizons. King of Discs. Well, this is very interesting. We have the King of Discs, the card of the universe, the 3 of Cups. Gosh. 5 of Wands, we have the Devil, we have the Death card, and the Hanged Man. Right, I'm going to shunt all these cards around and see whether we can get them all into one row. We may not be able to, but I'm certainly going to try. Otherwise, we'll just have to place them wherever they kind of seem to want to be. Going to get that in? Yeah, I think we might just get that in. Yeah, a little bit of a move along. So reading number 2, what this is already telling us is, whatever situation you're in, can you trust this person? I want to say that there has been somebody in your world who was not trustworthy. Someone has caused you emotional difficulty, emotional distress. There has been a challenge around you. What I'm seeing is that that challenge is about to, it's like about to break open. It's about to shift forwards. It's about to move forwards. Something is going to come to an end. You know, for some of you, maybe the situation that was emotionally challenging, for some of you, there is actually a genuine decision to walk away. Or maybe you've been waiting for the right moment, the timing of something, to walk away from something, to leave something behind. But you are walking away. There is a closure taking place, a closure and a moving forwards. Now, there may be a little bit, this is very interesting, this reading, because really effectively we're asking, can you trust this person? And I feel like it's really sort of stating that you have been involved already with someone who's not trustworthy, actually. I think that's actually quite clear. You will need the adjustment of something that's going to take place. I do feel it will. There's a process to go through here. King of Discs, the tortoise. I love this card. I always feel this is like, you know, consistency, steadiness. This is what wins the race. Crossing the T's, dotting the I's, being thorough, meticulous. Taking things step by step. For some of you, this is about recovery. You move away, you're leaving something behind. It might feel like you really are stepping into the unknown, but actually in doing so, you're going to rebuild, and there is a proper completion coming here, a completion and a new beginning with a clarity of direction and indeed a celebration. You know, 5 of Wands, it's like there's a sense of kind of victory around you. The wheel is going to turn. It's like burning bridges. That's what I feel. Cutting cords. New beginnings. And new beginnings that have a clarity of vision. Very interesting. We're asking, can you trust this person? What this reading appears to be showing us is almost the way forwards from a situation where you have already engaged with somebody who isn't trustworthy. That's what I'm really seeing, reading number 2. It's like, you know, because this has been, and I really feel this, there's a big kind of physical sense of how big this emotional challenge was and the person associated with it. It feels like your team, your spirit team, are really offering you, rather than acknowledging whether or not you can trust this person, they're sort of saying, look, we think you already know that somebody in your world has not been trustworthy. And actually what your spirit team are wanting to talk to you about is the fact that this is going to flow forwards. You know, you are being guided, you are being supported, and the situation is going to change. It's going to transform. There will be new beginnings. You're going to leave something behind, set sail. There will be a space of initial completion as well, where there'll be this sort of point of celebrating when you've made a decision, you've moved away from something, maybe you wobbled a bit around it, but be meticulous, step by step. Suddenly you'll just think, wow, what a relief I've got here. I can celebrate, I can relax. That there's something going on that your team is really saying to you, look, we wish to reassure you that this is going to shift and it's going to change. So I'm going to ask a little bit more guidance around this card, around what's been going on for you. I think I'm actually going to use the Art of Manifestation Oracle cards for this. Internal dialogue. Okay. Ah, lovely. this is very, very interesting. So reading number 2. I'll just read you what this says, and then we'll kind of dive into really where this is fitting. So internal dialogue. We all have an internal dialogue within our mind, a constant stream of inner conversation, or it certainly is in my head anyway. Is your dialogue kind, supportive and affirming, or is it critical and judgmental of either yourself or others? This card asks you to listen to your inner words and, if necessary, take steps to consciously change your language. Take a risk. Step out of your comfort zone. Feeling safe and secure is a wonderful experience, but if we remain in our safe zone for fear of change, we create a limiting and restrictive environment that can ultimately lead to stagnation and the loss of our creative potential to manifest our greatest contribution in the world. Let go of fear and take a risk. And then we have this card, forgiveness of ourselves. When something goes wrong, even if the circumstances were out of our control or we did the very best that we could possibly do, we can still carry guilt after the event. The gift of guilt is to help us to learn and to develop a conscience. You know, if we feel bad about something, we have a conscience and we don't do it again. It's not there, not to carry as a ball and chain for the rest of our lives. Listen to the learning and forgive yourself for not being perfect. Release any guilt today. Very big message coming through here, reading number 2, because I feel like you have had a connection with someone. Some of you may still have a connection with someone who makes you feel guilty. They behave in a way that leaves you feeling as though you're the one that messed up. You're the one that gets it wrong. You're the one that should carry the responsibility of everything. There's something going on here where there is an emotional residue, an emotional challenge. You know, I think some of you have been left feeling bad about yourself. And if you are still in a situation where you feel bad about yourself, this reading is really giving you an affirmation of your right and entitlement to leave this behind, whether it's the internal dialogue where you criticize yourself, you know, or whether it's an actual situation, but it's like something has been left around you. It's time to flow into a new space of being. And your guides are really asking you, inviting you to take that leap, to step into the unknown, to risk living again, to embrace the potential that is out there for you. And, you know, don't give yourself a hard time. And if somebody is giving you a hard time, very clear indication, again, that person, you know, they have their own agenda. So very powerful, very, very powerful cards for you, reading number 2. Let's ask a little bit more. An archetype card, the prayer. Oh, I so totally know where this is going. This is so interesting, reading number 2, because so let's just think for a moment, you know, when we pray, we are offering some focused thought. I mean, a prayer is a focused thought. It's like setting an intention. It's asking for something. It's like saying, please, may I have help, or could I pray for this? It's basically a period of very, very focused thought with, you know, generally good intent. And internal dialogue. If we sit down and we say a prayer and we ask for help, and you are also being, there's a message coming through which is relevant to some but not all, because, you know, it's a general reading, but actually ask for help is being said here. Ask for help, reach out. Your angels and your guides and your spirit team can only help you if you ask. You know, they have to respect our conscious free will and conscious choice. So reach out and ask for help. If you reach out and ask for help and you have a focused thought, that's your prayer. If you are praying for, let's say, you know, 10 minutes in your day, but the rest of your day, 24/7, you are worrying. Worry is also a focused thought. You know, setting an intention is a focused thought. Prayer is a focused thought, but so is worry. So if you are worried, bound up in the tangle of guilt and other difficult emotions, then it kind of means what you're doing is putting focused thoughts out into the universe like a request. But, you know, for 10 minutes you're asking for what you need, and for the rest of the time you're asking for what you don't want. So you're being asked to really be conscious about your internal dialogue here, and to shift into a space of request and of positivity, and asking for support, for help, and asking for what you desire, as opposed to what you have been either left with, stuck with, you know, on the end of. So really be conscious about your thoughts. And this is very much, I'm also seeing, I think for some of you, there is a sort of a, dare I leave? Dare I walk away? What will happen? Everything here is saying, you know, this is absolutely right. The wheel is going to turn. The direction. I always think Three of Cups. It's kind of, the threes are always like a shift in something. You know, if it's a Three of Swords, you know, a conflict comes to an end. If it's a Three of Cups, it's actually, you know, a celebration of a new space of beginnings. As well, I'm going to say as well, another message coming through, this will be right for some of you, but not all. If you have found yourself in a relationship with an emotional challenge, okay, and you're asking, is this person trustworthy? And I'm seeing quite an interesting, like it's like two pathways. There's history where you have absolutely met someone who wasn't trustworthy. There's new opportunity in the Three of Cups. Card of victory, cutting cords. There's opportunity here for some of you to kind of embrace, it's all about embracing a new chapter of your life and a new journey. For some of you it is as if, because this Three of Cups can be like a celebration, an engagement, an early celebration, still a journey to do. But if this is connected to a new relationship, we'll draw some cards around this. You know, if anyone in reading number 2 is at a turning point where they, you know, feel that can they dare to take the risk and engage in a new relationship when they have previously been emotionally hurt, damaged, really experienced significant emotional challenges historically. You know, this reading is encouraging you to take that risk, but we'll draw some additional cards. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. So for those of you very specifically tuning into reading number 2, who are entering a space of new beginnings, coming out of an emotional challenge, absolutely categorically, the common piece of information here is that I think you have experienced a historical emotional challenge from somebody who was not trustworthy. And for some of you, it's just left you doubting yourself. You know, dare I? I've made bad choices. And again, you're just giving yourselves a hard time. It's time to ask for guidance. And this is suggesting the potential for moving forward. So for anyone in search of a new relationship, or if there is somebody on your horizons, this is absolutely an affirmation for you. Express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So for those of you who are at a turning point, you've been hurt in the past and you're wondering, can you trust someone new? Can you dare to risk inviting a new person into your life? Someone I think is already there. If your question is, can I trust this person? But you're having a wobble because of history. This card is saying yes. Yes, you can. Yes, you can trust this person. You can trust this new person. Okay, this is what seems to be coming through in this reading. Now I'm going to draw some more cards because everything in this reading number 2 is suggesting a turning point emotionally. So can you trust this person? Oh gosh, as well, this is, can you trust, for some of you literally, it's almost like it comes back down to, can you trust yourself? Dare you trust yourself? Can you allow yourself to make choices without fear of getting it wrong? Gosh, lots of messages coming through in this reading, reading number 2. I am really sorry that this happened. And for those of you that are still tangled in this situation, where there is a need to let go and move forwards. You are being encouraged again to take a risk and, you know, cut yourself some slack. So we are asking, I think we know with certainty there is somebody in your world who you already know either has not been trustworthy and is, you know, it's left emotional scars. Or indeed, if they are still in your world, I feel that, you know, there is a clear answer and you know all about this person. This is really suggesting a leaving behind and a moving forwards. Now, for some of you, if there is someone new on the horizon, yes, this is a new person. It's safe to express your love. But let us ask for more guidance for anyone who may be still in a situation, fearful of moving forwards. Coming to life. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, lovely. And follow the leader. Okay. So I'm just going to organize the cards so that we can see everything. We move the cards around. Okay, reading number 2. I hope you can see everything clearly. These cards are amazing because coming to life is a card that says something absolutely magical and beautiful is about to emerge in your life. Something really, really fabulous is about to start happening. Something like a long-held dream is about to birth itself into your world. So this leaving something behind, letting go of something, attending to the details, but seriously an ending and a new beginning. I'm really seeing this, the wheel is turning and something that you have long desired and wanted is going to birth and emerge and flow into being. Feels like there is real divine timing around you. Follow the leader is really interesting because this is actually a card that says, you know, we lead by example. It's an amazing card because what it also says, and again, divine timing, look at the clock sitting on this tree. This tells us that whatever took place here, it's actually made you who you are today. It's made you a bigger, better version of you, even though this was incredibly challenging. And I really know it was. I really, really hear that. I mean, I can really feel the strength of that challenge. It's almost like through that adversity, you can now be an example to others by moving forwards, by allowing yourself to step into the new. You become an example, a beacon of light for others. It's actually, gosh, reading number 2, this is really a very, very beautiful reading because it's really offering you so much just love and support in moving forwards. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to draw another card from the this is a card called the Enchanted Map Oracle cards, and they're just beautiful, these cards. Oh, there's your card. Oh gosh, Stormfields. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Education, magic stream. Lovely. Okay, so Super Souls, reading number 2. Something that you have wanted. I can see that for some of you, you had really invested in something and it hasn't panned out. But lead by example. The process of healing, for some of you, that the process of healing is well underway, but for others, you're still in that zone. You're still having to process something. Remember, step by step. For those of you who are still tangled in a situation that you are finding challenging, I think the message is clear. You have been dealing with someone who is not trustworthy. But step by step, be meticulous, because actually you will come through this. The pathway will become clear. Information will be brought to you that you need. You know, you'll be shown Yeah, you'll be given information. You'll be shown what you need to do. You know, you're going to learn something that will allow you to actually move through and beyond this magic stream. Look at these symbols of new beginning as well. We have a heron here and a heron here. This is about birth and rebirth. Now, I think some of you are fearful that this can't be moved forwards. You're fearful of the outcome almost. I'm going to use the Archangel Michael cards, but I really want to say this reading is absolutely assuring you that the outcome is going to work out, be favourable for you. There is going to be a shift. It will be safe to move forwards. Yes, eternal love. Help me perceive all of the love that surrounds me so I can feel safe receiving, expressing and giving love. Again, it's what I'm also seeing, reading number 2. Some of you are at that point where maybe having experienced challenges within relationship, you are wondering, can you dare to take a risk and love someone new? For others, if you are winding your way out of a situation, moving through and beyond it, it can feel very challenging, but you know, eternal love is around you, and this reading is so offering you the encouragement and the support to move forwards. And yes, healing can take a little while, and you may need to almost like retreat a little while. And I don't mean retreat as in running away. I mean retreat like going on a retreat and spending time, you know, just taking time to meditate, you know, retreating from the world in order to recover and recoup. You know, for some of you, that is really important because the storm fields were big. But this is really that point of, I say frozen, it's like the point where you felt that you were being frozen, you were ghosted coming through for some of you, you were ghosted, you were, yeah, just not treated well. It's like it's time to kind of thaw, really. And you're going to come through this. Again, this is the message coming through so very, very clearly. Super Souls, I'm going to draw some more runes. Lovely. Right, first rune, the rune of movement. The rune of movement is the bettering of any situation, and it suggests that things will move and gather momentum. So whether this is a point of a new beginning for you, where you risk loving again, you risk stepping into life again, a point where you risk letting go of that internal dialogue and allow yourself to believe in your own future and your own self, you know, or you are risking the leaving of someone who has not been treating you well. This is the bettering of any situation. We have the rune of Berkana, growth. Fantastic, a new phase of life. You are invited to embrace a new phase of life. The rune of the self. The rune of the self is like the rune of joy, which looks like a P, sort of split down the middle and, you know, looking at itself. The rune of the self, this is a time to prioritize on you. As I said, for some of you, retreat, recoup, recover. The new is coming. The rune of separation, Othilla. This is a rune that says, and I love this rune, it's like a rune of gain, of inheritance. It means that the moment you let go of something, whether it's the residue of something or something that is not okay in your world at the moment you let go of it, including any unhelpful, internal, critical stuff, the moment you let go of it, there is space for the new. This is like you've outgrown something and it's time to move on and embrace the new. Hagalaz, oh, very, very interesting rune. Hagalaz is the rune of disruption. It's like, it suggests a real shift forwards. It's, again, if you are in a situation that is emotionally challenging, then currently, you know, in actual circumstances around you where somebody is not trustworthy around you. It's kind of like, this is like the wake up moment when you realize you can't tolerate this any longer. It's like that moment when you just think, I just can't do this anymore. I have to make a decision. I have to choose something different for myself. And if it's the residue of a past situation where you're wondering, can I risk trusting someone? It's that moment of realization. It's like, you know, I can't never ever risk loving anyone ever again, because actually that's not okay for me. I want more than that for myself. So again, this is a point of shifting. This whole reading is a shift, a point of shift and turn. 3 more runes coming out for us. Oh, this is lovely. Lovely. Let me move these along a little bit for you. We have the rune of strength, courage, ask for help, prayer. We have the rune of partnership. So the energy, again, partnership is around you, and clarity. This is the rune of openings, new directions, out of darkness into light, knowing where you're going, feeling strong. So yeah, I am really seeing this is a reading of a shift. Another message coming through. Well, reading number 2, there are really sort of like defined messages coming through that will relate obviously to some but not all. If you are in a situation where someone, I'm going to say someone's behaved badly. No. This is a point of separation. It really is. This is a new dawn. I was sort of questioning another message coming through. It's the rune of partnership here and the rune of openings. Is there a way to find a resolution? Is there a way where you can leave behind a thinking pattern or something that has been blocking you from seeing clearly? But I think if that is the case, and what we've shown here as well, if you are in a situation where you are, again, you've maybe had a disagreement within an existing relationship, it's felt emotionally challenging, listen to it. It's like knowing that you have the right to stand your ground and have your voice. It's like testing the waters, taking that risk and seeing, you know, if this person is worthy of you. Truly, if this person is worthy of you and you are direct and honest, the way will become clear and they will support you in that. The leaving behind may be leaving behind that inability to trust. But one way or the other, super souls, this is a reading of a turning point. The storm fields are going to become a thing of the past. You'll be looking back at what happened one day and just thinking, wow, I'm so much bigger, better, wiser a person than I ever would have been without this. It's been a space of learning, and it has in itself created new beginnings. Things are going to flow forwards. There will be a shift, a celebration, a cutting of cords, a new beginning. I love this. Yeah, the thaw will come. Ask for help and be very mindful of your internal dialogue. Beautiful reading number 2. I don't think I'm going to say any more. I wish you all the love in the world. I'm so sorry that this has been a challenge, but truly you are a bigger, better, wiser, and so much more amazing version of you because of this. Tons and tons and tons of love to you. Super souls, if this reading has resonated and you'd like to get notification of any of my readings, these are one of the more spontaneous ones. I'm putting them into a playlist of timeless readings because they kind of ask questions that we might want to touch base with at any time in our lives. So the link to the timeless reading playlist is in the information box below. If you subscribe and press the little bell icon, you should get notification of any of my readings, and I post them every single Sunday for weekly guidance as well. And I also give away a free private reading and a pack of these oracle cards every single month. It's a subscriber offer, so if you would like to be on my subscriber email list, again, the link to join that is in the information box below. Once you're on that list, you're on it forever, and my colleague draws names out of a hat every month, and then we post them. I post the names of the winners once a month, usually on a Sunday after one of the Sunday readings. So Super Souls, this is going to shift, it's going to turn, it's going to be a liberation, it's going to be a space of new beginning. You will be an example to others because you have overcome a significant emotional challenge. And the way is forward for you to re-establish love in your life. There is a process to go through, and I know for some of you that you're still navigating something of someone. It's just been unclear, not unclear, it has been clear from the beginning of the reading, not unclear, it's very clear that you have had, all of you, someone who is not trustworthy. It's as if we're dealing with the implications of that rather than asking directly. But as I said, for some of you, I think you maybe are still in that situation, in which case this is a validation of that and offering you permission to shift, to have a voice, to establish yourself, to be you, and to find that space of new beginnings, because yeah, this is absolutely right for you to move forwards to a new chapter of your life. Reading number 2, Tons of Love. Welcome, reading number 3. You have been drawn to the card of Eternal Union. New love is forming. We have the Rune of Wholeness, which is really interesting because this is the path you must follow. So I'm seeing a really big pull here. So it feels like there's some aspect of almost like karmic connection at this. In fact, actually, yes, I'm just tuning in with a message coming through already. Obviously, we're going to draw a lot more cards, but we have this little charm of a little person. This is where the karmic part is coming in. Gosh, I feel like there's something very strong between you where it's almost like a past life you've met before in some way. Now, I don't know as yet. We're going to draw cards. Can this person be trusted? Is this person trustworthy? But it's a very interesting start to the reading because it feels like there is a magnetic pull to this person. You know, the path you must follow, like you're just drawn to them in some way, shape or form. Really, really powerful connection here. Okay. Shuffle more. We are asking, reading number 3, is this person trustworthy? Can this person be trusted? We're drawing from the Light Seers Tarot, first of all. Wow, so we have the card of the Star. We have the 7 of Cups. Queen of Swords, the Moon. Oh, wow, look at this. The Fool. These are big cards. Big, big cards, reading number 3. Can this person be trusted? Well, you are absolutely magnetically drawn to them. This is like one of those moments when you, the dynamic connection between you is so, so strong. It's very interesting, and yet there's debate going on here. Okay, there's a real debate. I feel like you've come together for purpose. Okay, it's not yet clear to me whether this person is trustworthy. What is clear, reading number 3, is you are magnetically drawn to one another. There is an absolute pull, and it's so powerful and so strong. There's a real sense of destiny about it. A really deep, deep connection. So deep that even if you have only just met this person, it's almost like you'd chuck everything up in the air and you just go and you be with them. It's like, wow, you know, everything in you is saying, this feels right. I need to do this. Now, I don't know what exactly your circumstances are. It does appear to focus this reading more on new love than on any other aspect of relationship. But nevertheless, it's kind of like, it's so powerful and so dynamic. Honestly, it feels like it would be one of those love at first sight. I don't know anything about this person, but I'm just almost as if you would just leap into the unknown for them. But some part of you is saying, hang on a minute. Some part of you is, in fact, actually for some of you, maybe there has been a real, there's a set of choices around this person as well. I think there's a dilemma here. We're asking, is this person trustworthy? And I think there's a push-pull of energy. It's like, you really want to trust them, and you want to believe that this is the one, or this is the path, this is the right thing to do. It doesn't matter, nothing else matters. It's got that feel about it. But some other little part of you is saying, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute, what's the realness of this? And I think it's that little bit that's saying, hang on. So even like, head versus heart. Hang on a minute, what do I need to see more clearly here? I've got this incredible, powerful connection, and yet somehow I don't quite know this person that well yet. What's kind of going on here? So let's draw an oracle card. This is the Enchanted Map Oracle. Gentle Gardener. This is lovely. Right. Right, reading number 3. Okay, new love is forming. It feels ever so sort of like karmic. Destiny. It's got this flavour about it. Let it unfold gently. Don't rush into it. Don't try to force it. Don't try to make this person the one. Just allow it to organically unfold. It's like there's a process of discovery, but we're going to ask for more cards around. Is this person trustworthy? Is this person trustworthy? Can reading number 3 trust this person? It may even be that you think they're the one. You've kind of got that set, that sort of goal set in your mind. But maybe they're a little bit more ambivalent, or they haven't quite come forward yet. Maybe they're just not quite ready. Don't try to force it. Can reading number 3, did I say reading number 1 a moment ago? Can reading number 3, if I did, I apologise. Can reading number 3 trust this person? Oh my goodness me. Ace of Cups. Oh my goodness me. You've got to nurture this. Oh, my goodness me. Oh, wow. Okay, a card has just shown it to me, shown itself at the bottom of the pack, so I'm going with it. 9 of Cups. Queen of Swords. Look at this. We have Libra, the sign of Libra here. Queen of Swords, sitting under justice. Wow. Okay. Gonna draw one more. Look what you've got. You start with the Ace of Cups. You finish reading number 3 with the 10 of Cups. Reading number 3, I want to say this person is most definitely trustworthy. They may not yet be giving you what you desire. They may seem a little bit ambivalent or a teensy bit distant, or you're not quite sure if they're ever going to make that commitment. Maybe you've been seeing them for a while and your love has grown, and you're not sure that theirs has, or you don't know how they feel about you because they haven't yet been able to say anything, whether this is brand new love or whether this is, yeah, maybe there are children involved in some way, shape or form. There's something else going on. Maybe we'll draw some cards with that. But just reading number 3, I just want to say, absolutely, this is I think this is a really real connection. I think the chemistry is right. The magic of that chemistry is right. For sure, they are not yet maybe showing themselves, maybe showing their clarity of direction, but I think they're going to find it. Queen of Swords, just as you know what you want, they are going to have that moment of realization, but I think it's not quite yet. And actually, this needs to be nurtured. Allow yourself and themselves time to get to know one another. It's like, enjoy the journey. Don't be so fixed on where it's going, but enjoy the journey. Allow this to unfold, to unravel, to emerge, to evolve. This is going to, that spark, that initial chemistry is going to ignite and move itself forwards. Look at the flowers coming through here. We have in the Empress, we have this beautiful flower. The Two of Wands, we have this beautiful flower. This is going to blossom. It simply needs time. Okay, so it needs to blossom in its own time. The Nine of Cups, beautiful. This is like we have the Fool, a new beginning, a new opportunity, and we have the Nine of Cups sitting underneath this. This is the card of commitment, sometimes an engagement. The Queen of Swords, they're going to get just as clear as you are. But it's not yet. It isn't that they don't feel for you. They actually do, I think, genuinely think that you are potentially the one for them. But they want to take their time. I feel like you have this phenomenal magnetic pull, that spark, that, oh, wow, you know, and actually they are going to get there, but they're going to get there in their own time. This needs to be allowed to unfold gently. It will emerge. That spark of love is there for them as well. The chemistry is there. I think you know the chemistry is there. But it needs to be nurtured. Some child stuff involved here. It needs to be nurtured because there's some deep, deep feelings here. But deep feelings often engender insecurities, particularly at the beginning of a relationship. I think that's just really normal stuff. So again, we just need to really understand that actually the strength of this relationship ultimately will come from that kind of deep emotional resilience where we have honored our vulnerabilities, overcome them, been prepared to make that commitment. And yeah, this person will come into almost like their viewpoint and their heart and their feelings will come into balance with your own. And the Ten of Cups, it's the card of eternal love. Yeah, eternal union. Here we go, of course. There's just this little child charm. I am just going to draw a couple of cards around this because I'm curious, very curious as to what that is about. We're just asking, what's the little child charm? Is this because it's destiny? Is this because there are children involved? King of Hearts, healer. Ah, okay. What I need to say to you, I think reading number 3 is the moon, the strength, the King of Hearts, the child. I think this person maybe has had some childhood wounds, and because of those wounds, or that they are, you know, maybe their own primary family, there was some parental issues, you know, relationship issues, they didn't have a good role model, or that there's something that took place in their childhood. That's what we're being shown here. And in a way, part of meeting you is healing that possibility. It's renewing their faith and belief in love. But they are needing, therefore, to take their time and for this to organically emerge in such a way that it can become, it's like not just the magnetic chemistry. Oh, do you know, I have to tell you this, super souls. So I always feel nature just tells us, brings us such beautiful messages. Right outside my window, these two gorgeous wood pigeons are marching across my lawn, but basically one of them is being pursued. So she is being pursued by he, and he's doing this magical thing. If you've ever watched wood pigeons, they are so unashamedly in love when they meet the one they want to be with, and he's doing this big sort of bowing motion with his tail splayed out, and he's basically just keeps bowing to her, and she's sort of walking away. She's taking her time, and he's being, interesting enough, he's not being pushy, and sometimes they can be. He really isn't. He's just being so graceful and so thoughtful, and just letting her know it's like, I'm here, I really like you, I'm not going anywhere, I'm going to be really gentle. It's just utterly adorable. I'm just watching them do this whole display outside my window. I feel this is a magical affirmation. This person needs nurturing. The chemistry is there, and they know it. They know that, and not even deep down inside, they actually do know. They see you as hope, as that pathway to eternal happiness, but they are fearful of trusting that that is possible at this point in time. But that will change as you gradually get to know one another, and as this organically unfolds, and I am seeing this pathway through to happiness. So where you are questioning, can you trust this person? Is this person going to come through? Reading number 3, I would absolutely say yes. So super souls, reading number 3, I'm thrilled for you, utterly thrilled. Enjoy the journey. If you have resonated with this reading, or this reading has resonated with you, and if you'd like to get notification of any of the readings I post, this is a sort of a random one that I do spontaneous readings. Let me know if you have any questions you would like me to do readings about. Put them in the comments. I'm building a timeless playlist with all the readings that have these kind of, is it a yes or a no? How will this pan out? Is this my soulmate? All these kinds of readings are going into that timeless playlist. And I also post every single Sunday for weekly guidance. So if you feel you need to check in, if you're having a wobble, or indeed if things are flying and you just want to check in and see what your spirit guides are offering for the week ahead, I do a moon update as well with the lunar energy every Sunday. If you subscribe and press the little bell icon, everything should come through into your stream. And I also give away a free private reading and a pack of oracle cards every month. That's a subscriber offer. I have a subscriber email list that I'll put the link to that in the information box and the comments for phone users too. You can find all this stuff there, and just add your name to it. I make the announcement of the winners once a month on a Sunday after one of the Sunday readings. So if you're on my email list, keep an eye out for that, because you could be one of those winners. So super souls, just tons and tons and tons of love. Reading number 3, I'm thrilled for you. Truly thrilled. Tons and tons of love. Enjoy the journey.